What's up, guys? Rest in peace to Queen Elizabeth II. She passed away sometime yesterday or today at the age of 96. So, rest in peace to the Queen. And, for folks who have a problem with that, kick rocks. I don't care. So, any case, how many guys have watched She-Hulk? That show sucks. And this isn't about oh, a female superhero, this and that. I like female heroes. I like female superheroes, but I like good ones. Wonder Woman is awesome, minus that last movie, but she was awesome in Batman versus Superman, and her first movie. I don't know what they did with the second movie, but I hope with the third one they're gonna make sort of a course correction with that. Okay, because it sucked balls. But anyway, no problem with female protagonists, heroes, superheroes, anti-heroes, whatever. What I do have a problem with is the pandering. The show isn't good, and the problem the problem when it comes to these sort of shows is that every time there's criticism, the spin doctors will grab onto the most toxic comments and criticisms you can find about the show and use that to lob against anyone making any sort of criticism whatsoever. So that if you make any sort of criticism about the show, you're lumped in with those folks who are like sexist, racist, bigoted, whatever, right? And it just doesn't work. They've been doing this for a long time. Like, remember Ghostbusters 2016 when they gender swapped all of them? It wasn't just the fact that they gender swapped the Ghostbusters, because originally it sounded like a cool idea. It's how they did it. Like, we didn't know whether it was going to be a reboot or a sequel, and it was a mix between both, and it really didn't work. And then they tried to throw all this little corporate feminism in it, which didn't work. That's what they're doing with She-Hulk. It's not it's not legitimate inclusiveness or diversity. It's corporate feminism. Okay, and let's be blunt. The CGI looks janky. Okay, it looks like a cartoon movie from like 20 years ago, and that's not a good thing. But aside from that, they had a limited budget, so they can't even use She-Hulk as much as they want in action sequences. So most of it has to be filled with comedy and dialogue. The problem is the writing is horrible, and that's what we get into. You you could get away with mediocre CGI if you could make up with it with great writing, dialogue, interesting narrative, but there isn't one. And like some of it is so just condescending. Like when She-Hulk Jennifer, aka Jennifer Walters, tells her cousin Bruce Banner that she can deal with controlling her emotions, unlike him, because she has to literally deal with, you know, snarky comments and sexism, banal sexism, not sexism like we're gonna do bad things to you that I can't say on YouTube. But stuff like that, the everyday snarkiness, sexist stuff that women go through. I understand, but yeah, that's not compelling. Okay. Um, this man was literally hunted by the federal government for like a decade or so. Um, Dealt with child abuse, his father murdering his mother, um, losing his mind, and getting abandoned on an alien planet for a couple of years, being brutalized by Thanos. Uh, all these sorts of things. And her response is, well, I can control my emotions because I have to deal with with toxic men every day. Really? And this is why people don't like the show. It's not it's not because it's a female superhero. It's not because it's an MCU comedy, which wouldn't be that bad of an idea. It's bad writing, and it's obvious the writer doesn't understand the character and rather put her own voice in the character's mouth instead of letting the character speak for herself from her own personality. I don't even care that she was twerking or whatever, because the comic book character is a 304 as well. I would be honest. The character was sort of a 304 in the comic books, but for one, she's not an interesting character. Um, Most people hate legacy heroes anyway. Generally, legacy heroes are superheroes that's based off of a bigger superhero. So with Superman, then you get like Superboy, Supergirl, Crypto the Superdog, stuff like that. With Batman, you get the whole Bat family basically. Robin, Batgirl, the other Robins, Huntress, the Red Hood, all those folks. Nightwing. Nightwing is the only cool one I would pay to see outside of Batman himself. That's an aside. um, then you have legacy heroes in Marvel as well with all the Spider-Man people. And She-Hulk isn't. I'm sorry, she's not really worthy of her own show, and it shows. It's supposed to be this Ally McBeal within the MCU sort of thing, but again, it's poor writing. I liked Ally McBeal when it came on 20 years ago. It was kind of funny. This isn't funny. Like, just throwing feminism and bad comedy together doesn't a great show make. Sorry. I'm going to end this rant, but the pandering, and then when the audience doesn't like it, saying, "Oh, they just don't get it," and they're not empathetic to female characters. No one's buying that. No one's buying it. The fact of the matter is, a lot of TV shows and a lot of movies nowadays just suck. But when you have the corporate overlords try to push through some sort of social narrative or cultural diversity and stuff like that, that's supposed to grab hold of the audience, and when it doesn't, it's the audience fault. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. So She-Hulk sucks. However, I'm going to keep on watching it just because I'm watching everything from the MCU because they're all interconnected. So you might miss something. For instance, I'll save you an episode of watching She-Hulk. There's an Easter egg in the second or third episode where they're reading the newspaper, and it talks about a man with claws um, attacks people at a bar. So basically, the MCU just used that Easter egg to introduce Wolverine into the new MCU movie canon. So there you go. That's why I'm continuing to watching, and I'm waiting to see Daredevil. But save yourself some time. Don't watch She-Hulk if you're on the fence about it, because I'm not sure who the audience is supposed to appeal to. It doesn't appeal to most MCU fans, and for the uh, um, how do I want to put it? The third and fourth wave feminists or whatever they want to call themselves nowadays, most of them don't watch this stuff either anyway. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm just a contrarian, but you know, if you want to continue watching just because you're like me and you want to see everything from the MCU, go right ahead. But I did warn you, it sucks. And it doesn't suck because she's a woman. It doesn't suck because the bad CGI, although that's a big part, although that's a part of it. Not to mention her trying to twerk with Megan, the male horse. I'm sorry, the stallion. It's bad writing, and it shows. And using the excuse that toxic men, toxic fans are the reason that people don't like it is fugazi. It's a non sequitur. Okay. All right, guys.